It's midnight, so it's good night to you all, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are watching this video from. It's our midnight hustle and grind, and the goal here is to, well, look out for all the latest developments in the field of AI and whatever is happening over in the AI matrix. We got to be on top of all the latest developments, and well, the thing is that right now we are live on YouTube on our channel Intelligence Frontier, our X account Kick, and I'm doing a personal live on my TikTok. That's the scene. So the plan here is to, well, basically scour through all the latest developments in AI, and I came across this very latest news a few hours back. Manus, they just announced cloud computer for Manus. So just wait a second. There is some well hiccup with my personal live on my TikTok. Let me just see what could be the problem over there. But anyways, let us start that over there. I'm not sure why TikTok is all acting up. However, the scene is that we'll get back to Manus. Lately, there was this news that China blocked the purchase of Manus from Facebook. So that deal isn't happening, although Facebook was ready to pay $2 billion for the acquisition of Manus. But this whole transaction, it was deemed, well, not complying with the rules and regulations. So what do they have over here, guys? So they are introducing cloud computer for Manus, your always on machine in the cloud. So anything you build keeps running 24/7. Guys, we are going deeper and deeper into the agentic era. Things are at a place where there's gonna be a lot of conveniences only for those who are gonna be, well, aware with all this stuff, would be actually in a position to use this stuff and to make good use of it, in short. So anyone can build and anything can run, available on web and mobile. This seems quite interesting, guys. With this video, let me play this for you, and in the meanwhile, let me also start my live on TikTok. I don't know why it's acting up. Next time we are gonna do the live directly from my desktop. We are gonna share everything directly onto the live from there. So we'll figure that out. But well, if Manus was one of the earliest agents out there. So in 2025, it got a lot of recognition, but then things kind of paced down. Things got kind of slow, but now Manus is back in the game. Although there have been hiccups while during the acquisition from Facebook, and now it seems like they are not going to go through with the purchase. Let's see what ends up happening. But well, this is the scene right now. I'm going to play this video and we are going to see what the Manus cloud computer is capable of. So, guys, we are gonna be actually going through this slide by slide. I'm gonna look into the stuff that is interesting. So, Firstly, you are giving cloud access to Manus, then it works 24/7. That is the key highlight. Then you see over here, an always on workspace for your agent to work 24/7. This seems quite interesting, guys. Perplexity also has Perplexity Computer, and I'm not sure if it's able to run 24/7, but well, this whole layout seems kind of well similar to what Perplexity Computer is offering. So it even shows the memory of the this cloud storage, this cloud computer. What else are they saying over here? Build and host bots that never shut down. This definitely seems interesting, guys. So let's see an example what they made over here. Create a Slack bot called content review bot and deploy it on my cloud computer. When mentioned in the content review channel, it should extract the message or files, send them to Manus via API for review and reply with the results in the same. This is pretty interesting. And one thing that I consider positive is that having this cloud computer will enable you to keep your own desktop, your personal desktop, safe. I mean, like we have seen news of these AI agents going rogue, but having a cloud computer and just giving only the data that you can risk uh, playing with, that seems like a better idea, guys. What do you think about it? I would definitely love to know what your thoughts are. And let's move on. Let's see what else they are offering, what they have to say. Okay. So this seems quite comprehensive. I don't have that much technical knowledge, but seems like there's a description and there's components, what each component will do. Then there are files in this task. This seems actually pretty interesting. So here we go, guys. This seems like that bot, the content review bot. Okay. So, and the interface that it made. This is, guys, good. Run scrappers while you sleep. We got to look into this. What does this mean? Create a minute by minute AI news subscription site and deploy it to my cloud computer. A countdown timer, auto refresh functionality, visual feedback. Oh, interesting, guys. I could make use of this. This was pretty interesting. I need to screenshot this one, guys. This definitely is interesting. Let's move on. Run and deploy any open source tools, and let's see what the tools were over here. I know this is N8N, Odoo. This is a like a workspace management tool. WordPress. Not sure what the other ones are. Deploy a Metabase website for my team on cloud computer. So you see the agent is conversing, and then okay. So let's go back over there. We need to read this again. Deploy a Metabase website for my team on my cloud computer. So this website will be used by the team, and check this out, guys. This seems interesting, sort of something that any organization could use internally. I think this is interesting, guys. What's your opinion on this one? So yeah, things seem promising. There's a further breakdown. Here's what you can now build and run 24/7 without writing a single line of code. 24/7 bots on Slack, Discord, Telegram, live databases, and persistent knowledge bases. Ah, interesting. Self-hosted open source tools, WordPress, Metabase, Home Assistant, Odoo. So I think this is Google Home Assistant. Let me double check this one, guys. Home Assistant. No, no, this is not from Google. My bad. This was the logo that we saw over there. So this is something different. Home Assistant. and it's also well, like we saw, able to schedule scrapers and reports. Read the full launch post for everything you can build with your cloud computer. This is very interesting. It would be actually good to well see the pricing for all this. So let's check out the pricing. Manus pricing. Manus pricing plans. Let us check out the pricing plans of Manus. And okay, so Manus costs. So you on a monthly basis you can get like 7 days free trial. Gives you 8,000 credits per month, 8,000 credits, and 300 refresh credits daily. So a standard one is $20 per month. Okay. It doesn't mention over here if we get access to the cloud computer. It would be definitely interesting to see if they put it over there because this is like a very latest update. So from what I know, if there's something this revolutionary, this interesting, it's usually put in the pricing page as a very, you can say, prominent feature. But anyways, the cloud computer isn't mentioned here. So guys, whoever is joining us on TikTok, let us show you the scenes. How do I turn the camera over onto the other side? Maybe by this, by swiping. No. Okay. So the Manus plans and pricing doesn't mention anything about the cloud computer. However, we just saw that the cloud computer itself is a very distinguishing feature. And guys, if it's available in the $20 a month plan, this seems like pretty good and would be value for money. But it would be interesting to see how far this 4,000 credits per month will take you with the cloud computer. So the $40 a month plan gives you 8,000 credits, but like the real value is with this $200 a month, gives you 40,000 credits. That is actually interesting. Let's go back to this post that I came across, and I'll go to Grok and ask Grok to well basically break it down for me and help me understand this one. If you are not using Grok, you are missing out on a lot of interesting stuff. Let's ask Grok that which pricing plan is it included with. I type quite fast, guys, but doesn't necessarily mean I type accurately. Yeah. So on the free plan, there's no access to cloud computer, and on paid pro plans, $20 a month, you can create and use cloud computer. It is not automatically included in your main subscription credits. It has separate resource plans, and this does make sense, guys. If you see over here, it was I noticed over here, like you see over here, it gave us in this video. It was showing that there's 10 GB storage. So if they are giving you extra storage to run a cloud computer, they are definitely gonna charge you for that, and I think that is like pretty reasonable. So yeah, that's it. You choose the cloud computer tier based on the resources like the CPU, memory, and storage you need. CPU, memory, and storage. See, guys, we just talked about the storage, and Well, basically, in the pricing, this CPU and memory, this is also included. Definitely has to be a part of this. So we have Anas on Kick. Hey, how are you? You have any interest in AI and that sort of stuff? We are talking about Manus AI. So, guys, we went quite in detail learning about Manus AI, but I'm like pretty concerned that if Facebook's deal with Manus doesn't go through, it was like a very big deal. 2 billion US dollars. Let me just show you over here. China blocks Facebook from Manus acquisition. So you are gonna see it was like one of the biggest news yesterday in the all AI landscape. And we have been looking into agents recently since OpenClaw and then Claude. They got a lot of traction and got widely known. But well, the OG was Manus. They were building agents in China in 2025, and now the word is all now on to agents. Everyone is saying that the AI era that we are gonna step into is the agentic era. So you see, there's news all over that China blocked the meta purchase of Manus AI. Let's read through this one CNN news. China blocks Meta's acquisition of Chinese founded AI startup Manus. We have to keep in mind, guys, this is a Chinese startup. So the rules and regulation, well, the applicable ones are from China. So Kevin on TikTok said, "Do not redeem it." Not redeeming anything. So the topic here, Kevin, is AI and whatever is happening in the AI landscape, the AI metrics. I'm live streaming on YouTube Kick X, and well, the thing is that I just wanted to live stream on my own personal um, this TikTok account as well, since this other account, this professional account, it's under review for live streaming. Okay, so here we see, guys. CNN has reached out to Manus for comment. Manus, uh, I'm like pretty sure they wouldn't get any answer, but Manus was something really big. It kicked off this whole rise of these agents. You might have heard of Claude. You might have heard of OpenClaw. Like they are pretty big on agents. So it's like the agents are running for you day and night. On the back end, there's an AI program, a large language model, and well, they essentially make you like super. They turbocharge your work. They turbocharge your like speed of doing things. So let's move on from Manus. I think like we have read quite a lot about Manus. We need to well move on. What else do we got now? I also get a lot of interesting news from Perplexity. I have a paid plan of Perplexity. So, Perplexity, if anyone isn't using Perplexity, it's free to use. We all are using ChatGPT. Some of you might be using Claude, but Perplexity itself is like super fun and it's quite accurate and gives you, well, like the latest news. I'm gonna pull up something related to AI from Perplexity right now. Okay, there is one Harvard study. This seems something that we could talk about. This seems interesting. So there's a study in Harvard magazine related to AI. So it says AI outperforms doctors in emergency room tasks. Okay, this is kind of big, guys. Researchers say technology could help physicians with triage diagnosis. Let's see what this article includes. But I think this definitely is a good read. In the meanwhile, I'll try to switch the camera to the other side on my TikTok. Flip camera. Yeah, here we go, guys. We are flipping the camera. Here's this Harvard study, guys. Yeah, there we go. So, do you think that AI can outperform doctors? Well, I think that it can, and in future, if we have humanoid robots, they could there could be like doctor humanoids, and just like we talked about agents, an agent is like a program that is very good at a certain task, a certain well thing that you program it to do, and we could have doctor agents. This could be very likely possible. An advanced AI agent has outperformed human physicians on a series of demanding tests that assess the ability to correctly diagnose patient illness in clinical settings. Harvard-led study found OpenAI's O1 preview, the company's first model capable of step-by-step reasoning, proved that it could conduct real-world triage in emergency rooms. What is a triage? Let's have a look at this. And OpenAI's O1 preview. We also need to see when it came out and what is it all about. The study led by Harvard researchers with collaborators at Stanford and published today in Science suggests an urgent need for controlled trials of technology. Okay. I'm looking for the juicy stuff, the stuff that will inform our, that will add to our knowledge database about AI and all this. The researchers threw several different complex tasks at O1 preview. They asked the large language model LLM to arrive at a patient diagnosis and develop a testing plan. They evaluated its skill in clinical reasoning compared to both experts and generalist physicians and in a live clinical setting. They assessed the LLM's performance on 76 emergency room cases in a Boston hospital at three stages: initial triage at arrival, first contact with the physician, and upon admission to the medical floor or intensive care unit. I need to go to Grok as well because it helps me basically summarize these sorts of news and also helps me understand this. If you are not using Grok, you are missing out on a lot. Grok is like pretty good. It's, I think, in a lot of ways better than ChatGPT. However, I still use ChatGPT, but Grok is like very fast. I have the fast mode on. It saves me a lot of time there, you see, in the end. So let us take this link and I'm going to put it in Grok and ask it to help me understand this. Now, this, check this out, guys. It's in front of you how fast it was. Does ChatGPT or Claude give you results as quickly? One of the best ways to learn from AI is to talk to it and to basically consider it as your learning partner. It's there to help you, it's there to guide you. It's just a matter of how fluent you get in talking to it. Let me read through it and let's find out something that could be of use or could add to our knowledge. I'm interested in knowing when this OpenAI's O1 preview model came out. Like, is it that disrupting that it's gonna be very, like changing how hospitals operate? When did this model came out? Let's go, Grok. Let's go. OpenAI's O1 preview model was released on September 12, 2024. Guys, this is kind of old. In the world of AI, even a news from yesterday is considered like pretty late. The full O1 non preview version came later in December 2024. Yeah, so this is like such an old model. So, like if OpenAI as O1 proved that it could, well, basically deal with the emergencies at the hospital and suggest appropriate diagnostic tests and all this one. So, just imagine what the GPT 5.5 would be like. So, I'm gonna go to Grok. I'm gonna ask it that if it can find a benchmark for us, which could tell us how efficient is the latest ChatGPT 5.5 model in terms of medical treatments. So Alkans, he's saying Salam, Walaikum Assalam, how are you? We are doing our midnight hustle, learning about AI and stuff, and I think few people are new to this stream. I'll have to flip my camera so that you people know what exactly is going on. We have a live stream on our YouTube channel and all, and here is our canvas where we are learning. So let me just use the voice command over here. So I'm going to use this voice feature to ask Grok to, well, I'm actually going to dictate it. Okay. Okay, Grok, can you find any benchmark results where OpenAI's latest model GPT 5.5 has been evaluated for its use in the medical field? There we go, guys. Instead of typing all this, we just dictated it. And let's see if it's gonna find something for us. GPT 5.5 released on April 23rd, 2026, but it is so recent. Comprehensive independent medical benchmarks are still emerging, but OpenAI and early partners have shared results focused on healthcare relevant evaluations. As this is what I was looking for. If one of the earliest models of OpenAI zero 01 review could compete with like the doctors, then this one would be capable of doing a lot more. So on Health Bench, it scores 56.5. Now I'm not sure what 56, well, how good of a rating that is, but it's 2.5 points over GPT 5.4. Health Bench Hard, it scores 31.5. Okay. On Bixbench. Bixbench is also one of the reputed sites for AI benchmarking. On Bixbench, real world bioinformatics and data analysis 80.5%, and GPT 5.4 scored 74%. These tasks often mirror multi day expert work in drug discovery and genomics. So, guys, isn't that insane? Like the earliest versions of OpenAI's model, it could well conduct real world triage in emergency room, recommend appropriate diagnostic tests, and perform case management tasks. However, the latest version, it can mirror multi-day expert work in drug discovery, genomics, etc. This is just mind blowing, guys. In a span of like a year and a half, things have like this whole AI landscape, it has gone ballistic, guys. It has gone ballistic. Other relevant evaluations: MedHelm, Stanford's Holistic Medical Eval, GPT-5 family models, including earlier GPT-5 variants, led third-party leaderboards. Okay, so the thing is that I'm not sure how uh, this ranking stacks up, but the thing is, if we ask it to give a comparison with the other prevailing models, then I think we are in a better position to understand what exactly it means. So on TikTok, I'm like switching the camera so that it doesn't get overwhelming for the guys over there. I'm gonna do the dictation again to Grok. So, okay, Grok, you gave me the results for GPT 5.5's results in various medical benchmarks. And could you now give a comparison of the same with other large language models that are famous? And if you could make a comparison, I would appreciate that. So I just dictated to Grok. It's gonna help me. It's gonna do all the heavy lifting for me. I'm using the fast version of Grok. Check this out, guys. I gotta flip the camera on TikTok so you see the insane speed of Grok. I'm saying it again. You have to use Grok, guys. You'll be hooked onto this, guys. So let's see where GPT 5.5 well stands on the medical benchmarks. On the health benchmark, we see that GPT 5.5 scores Health Bench. It scores 56.5. Claude Opus 4x. It scored lower. Gemini's 3.x. What is 3.x? I think it's the 4 series. Or like, let's ask Grok what it's referring to. One thing I'm sure about is that right now we are with the using the Claude Opus 4.7, but what does it mean when it says Claude Opus 4.x? So the Claude Opus 4.x refers to the Anthropic's flagship Opus line in Claude 4 model family. This is the most powerful and capable model. Okay, so to understand this, so this is the third series of Gemini on Anthropic's Claude Opus. It's the fourth series over here, guys. So GPT is scoring higher on the health benchmarks. So on the same health bench, on the hardest one, it scored 46.2. However, Claude Opus 4 series scored very low. Gemini stood at 19, Grok at 23. And I must say that Grok is gonna catch up pretty fast, guys. Grok is something we shouldn't sleep on. MedQA. So on here, you see it scored 95 to 96, and Gemini also scored 94 to 96. Claude is at 91 to 92. Hmm. So it seems like it's It's leading all these health benchmarks. Let us read through the strengths of GPT 5.5. It builds incrementally on GPT 5.4 with gains in health bench, especially hard subsets and complex clinical tasks. It excels in structured reasoning and agentic workflow. We have been talking about agents, guys. Agentic workflows, they are going to be big. And multi-step diagnosis management, low hallucination, and when using thinking modes. So hallucination is when the AI model or the large language model keeps bringing up data or stuff that isn't there, that isn't factual. It's making that up. So there are benchmarks that actually give a score to the hallucinate performance with reference to the hallucination to all these LLMs. Specialized clinician tuned versions then outperform base model and even human physicians on some rubrics. So in short, GPT 5.5 is pretty good at all this medical related stuff, and even with drug discovery and bioinformatic related problems. So the future is super bright. So on this stream, till now we talked about the Manas AI's cloud computer. We talked about we started actually from the OpenAI's this O1 preview model, and we ended up checking the performance of the latest model as compared to the other large language models in terms of performance in the healthcare benchmarks. We are not gonna suffocate on this. We got to move on, guys. This is something that I would like to talk about, guys. You see over here, I have been seeing this news since yesterday. Figure AI scales production 24 times to one robot per hour, set to build 55 humanoids this week. In futures, we are gonna have robots that are gonna be hooked up with the AI, and they are gonna be in our workspaces. They are gonna be in our streets. They are gonna be um, the in the warehouses, in the industrial facilities. And Figure AI also has this Figure 3 robot that came out in a press conference with Melania Trump. So this is kind of huge, guys. In future, you might own your own humanoid robot that will be doing stuff for you, like actual stuff, like your chores. And we know there are robots. People are playing around with robots, talking to them, and taking them out on the streets. But that is like the entertainment side of it. However, the real big deal is humanoids doing real world tasks for you. If you ask it to do your laundry, it should be doing your laundry. If you ask it to fetch the groceries, them doing all that for you. So this is where the real use case of humanoid robot manifests. So Figure AI is one of the leading companies that is working to manufacture humanoid robots. And would you imagine that their production, it said that it has scaled 24 times to reach one robot per hour. So right now they are making one robot every hour. And I must say that it would be like a pretty extensive process. You can see it on my screen. And well, I need to deep dive into this one, guys. Let me take it to Grok. I'll start another chat over here, and we are gonna ask Grok to explain this to us. So I'm gonna dictate to it. Okay, Grok, I'm interested in knowing that what are the production figures of Figure AI that produces humanoid robots, and is it like the top company in humanoid robot production, or is there any other robotics company that is making more robots per hour compared to Figure AI? Let's go, guys. Grok wants to make sure that I'm a human, guys. This is Okay, yeah. I think it's satisfied now. Dictation failed. We are gonna go at it again. Okay, Grok, is there any other company that is producing more than one robot per hour? And tell me more about Figure AI's production scale. Come on, don't give up on me this time. Yeah. So, again, going with the fast version of Grok, Figure AI is currently at the leading edge of real-time humanoid production ramp up among Western companies, and no other firm appears to be publicly to. We'll see if there are companies in China that are producing humanoid robots at more than uh, one of them per hour. So the recent breakthrough is that in under 120 days, Figure AI scaled output 24 times. We talked about this just earlier at its Bot Q facility in San Jose, California, from one robot per day to one robot per hour. One robot per day. This week's target 55. So it's a significant jump that implies running near the new hourly rate for much of the week. Guys, what changed for them to be able to scale up to 24 times more than their previous production rate? I mean, like, this is pretty insane. What do you guys think? Cumulative output over 350 figure 3 units built to date. So their latest figure 3 humanoid robots, their production has been like only 350 till date. Yields and quality. This is actually something that needs to be looked into. So it's not like they have to pump out the production figures. They also need to make sure that the actual pass rate and the yield is also strong. So 80% first pass yield reported. So if it's not passed in the so-called first pass, then it has to go again, and things have to be rectified for it to pass. Strong results on batteries up to 99.3% in some mentions, and actuators 9,000 plus produced across SKUs, stock keeping unit. What are actuators, guys? We gotta look into it. There's some problem with my Google, but anyways, what are we are gonna ask Grok if it's working for us. What are actuators? Actuators are the muscles of a robot or a machine. They are components that convert energy, usually electricity, but sometimes hydraulic or pneumatic, into physical movement or force. Guys, this is interesting. I have to put it into my glossary of terms. I have this glossary of terms where I'm keeping all the AI related stuff that I came across. So we have a new addition, actuator. Actuator. Interesting. Let's go up there. What else do we need to understand? Understand. Facility goal. PodQ's initial line target 12,000 robots per year, roughly consistent with one per hour at scale, accounting for downtime and shifts. Long-term ambitions go much higher. Okay. So this bot queue, it's a dedicated humanoid factory, one of the first purposes built in the US. Other companies' production rates. So I asked Grok to, well, let me know the production rates of other companies as well if someone is competing with or like going neck and neck with Figure AI. So no public evidence shows any company sustaining more than one robot per hour in active output right now. Most are still in lower volume pilots or early ramp phases, even if they have higher designed annual capacities. So Agility Robotics, RoboFab. So this is their facility in Oregon. First dedicated humanoid factory has capacity for 10,000 plus per year. And in comparison, we just saw that uh, Figure AI has a capacity for 12,000 a year. But actual output is in the hundreds per year. Okay. Tesla Optimus, guys. I went to this one Tesla showroom and they had the Tesla Optimus over there on display. And I'm like pretty sure when Tesla steps up their game, this Optimus robot is gonna be the most produced one because Elon Musk has a track of scaling companies to insane levels. And even if you see over here, it says ambitious plans for 1 million plus per year. Whereas on the other hand side, Figure AI, they are giving like more of a realistic scale of 12,000 for this year. So let's read about the Tesla Optimus with production intent starting mid 2026. Current output is very low. Internal prototypes pilots in the low hundreds at most. No hourly rate near figures yet. So Figure AI is the leading one in the humanoid robot market. There's also Boston Dynamics. I think I read some news about Boston Dynamics. They, I think, took some seed money or something. Let me go to Google and check this out. Boston Dynamic seed round. I think it's a startup. So, so no, this is, I got it wrong. This is, they have been like in business before. It's not like a recent startup. But when did I hear of this? I think, and the thing is, it's not publicly traded. It's Hyundai Motor Group is investing heavily in 2026 in Boston Dynamics. Okay, I think maybe there were rumors for Boston Dynamics IPO, but there are rumors. But let's go back. So there's also 1X Technologies, new factory aiming for 10,000 in first year. Now my Google is working, so we are gonna see if, yeah, guys, this Neo robot was actually on my feed in the last couple days. Let me go over here. They unveiled like the latest one of their humanoid robots, Neo Humanoid. I come across a lot of AI related news, and I think I came across this. So there's this post. This is the first time we get to see the mechanical guts of 1X Neo under the suit. Okay, they have shared some video of work going on the humanoid robot. Hmm. So guys, they have this robot and you can take it with you like anywhere. Let's video and to our guys on TikTok, I'm also gonna flip the camera to show you guys as well. Check this out, guys. There's this humanoid robot in here, and this is a case for it, a casing. Maybe you can put it in the trunk of your car, guys. That seems like an insane thought. But definitely, if you can put your humanoid in a case, it means like the mobility part is there. You cannot run it as of now, but the thing is, for long distance travels, they do a case for this humanoid robot 1X Neo. Would be interesting to see how transporting these humanoids plays out. So, which Chinese firms are in the game? Unitree AGI bot. Let's see Unitree. These lead in annual volume. Unitree shipped 5,500 humanoids in 2025. China is way ahead of everyone, guys. In 2025, this one company they shipped out like 5,500 humanoids. Thousands more planned for 2026. With expanding capacity, some automated lines exist. Hmm. Bottom line. This is what we got to read through. Figure Figures 1 per hour milestone is a notable first for high visibility Western humanoid manufacturing velocity right now. Chinese players dominate total unit ship thanks to scale and lower cost, but Figure stands for the speed of its recent throughput gains and focus on high quality. AI integrated Figure 3 units for real deployment. The industry is still early. True mass production will depend on further yield, supply chain, and reliability. So, guys, here's my 2 cents on it. It's not just about making the humanoid robot. The thing is, there goes a lot of research and development into making these humanoid robots. And the thing is that over time, the research and development in this field of humanoid robots is gonna shine. Maybe in future there might be factories that will be able to make these humanoid robots, but they would be serving other companies that do R&D. So you see, just like in the GPUs, the graphical processing units, and all that technology for AI and the chips, NVIDIA just designs them. It does research and development. And then there's a factory, Taiwan Semiconductor, TSMC. That's the name of the factory in Taiwan. That is like the leader in making these chips for AI technologies, our mobiles, and GPUs and everything. So NVIDIA shines because of their research and development. I think at this point in time, NVIDIA is at a 5 trillion market cap. Let's ask Grok. Okay, Grok, tell me what's the market cap of Nvidia and also tell me what's the market cap of TSMC. I believe that it's 5 trillion US dollar for Nvidia and for um, TSMC it's 3 trillion. Just fact check it and tell me the relation between them. And I'm making a point as like the R&D will shine and how Nvidia has came out on top. So let's see if so yeah, instead of typing all this, I dictated it to Grok. Saves me a lot of time. So Nvidia has a market capitalization of 4.85 trillion. TSMC has a market cap of 2.05 trillion. They have a deeply symbiotic, mutually beneficial partnership that powers much of the AI boom. Nvidia designs the chips, GPUs like Blackwell Rubin, the brains with the proprietary CUDA software ecosystem. This is what is CUDA, guys? Computer Unified Device Architecture. And TSMC manufactures, fabricates them at its advanced foundries in Taiwan. TSMC is the world's leading contract chip maker foundry and produces NVIDIA's most cutting edge AI accelerators. R&D, so this is where Grok mentions about R&D. So R&D and innovation have been decisive. NVIDIA's edge heavy investment in GPU architecture, parallel computing, CUDA software mode. This is like their own proprietary software and full stack AI hardware, software, and networking. This turned GPUs from gaming tools into essential picks and shovels for AI training inference. TSMC's strength massive R&D in the process technology, shrinking transistors, improving yield and power efficiency. So we have to make a distinction here. Designing all the AI chips, NVIDIA does that, but the R&D mentioned here for TSMC's uh, process technology, it refers to R&D for the manufacturing itself. They execute manufacturing at a scale and quality few can match. As a result, NVIDIA captures higher margins and market premium as the visible AI winner with direct customer relationship like hyperscalers. So it's a classic design and manufacturing synergy where NVIDIA's bold R&D bets and ecosystem have propelled it to the top of the valuation charts, while TSMC remains the indispensable but less flashy enabler behind the scenes. So now this was something that I came across earlier. We made a correlation, and now we what I would like to see is how in future there would be a equivalent of foundries for AI chips for the humanoid robots, and how research and development will shine, and people or the companies could give their designs to these fabs or like the factories that would make the humanoid robots. I think this is going to be like a big business, and in the same way that I'm visualizing it to be. Let's ask Grok if it can validate if there's a demand for it. Okay, Grok. So the thing is, I am visualizing that in future there could be a similar dynamic between the robotics companies who would focus on just R&D, and I believe that in future there will be like fabs or industries that will be dedicated to just manufacturing the humanoids, and they will be serving various customers will come in with their own R&D and D and their own humanoid designs, and they will be the one manufacturing the humanoids for them. Do you think there is some uh, potential in this sort of synergy between companies, or this could this be a possible business in uh, the future of AI? So again, dictated this to Grok. If you dictate to AI, your language is more natural, and then you can get better answers for your question. So Grok is now giving us our answer. Let's see. A good thing about learning about AI and doing it in public and real time with all you guys is like we can share our ideas. We can basically discuss about our thoughts, and my unique thoughts, novel thoughts, I'm putting it out there. For anyone who's watching this live stream, you can put your thoughts down in the comments and we can discuss that. Okay, so here it goes. Yes, there is a strong and growing demand for humanoids, and your envisioned fab like synergy, R&D, design focused companies, and dedicated contract manufacturers serving multiple customers already shows real traction and significant future potential. This mirrors the semiconductor model but adapted to the complexities of robotics hardware. So, guys, this AI just put my thoughts into words actually. Validated demand. Market forecast projections range from 6 billion in 2026 growing to 30 billion and 165 billion plus by 2034 and 2036. CAGR of 50% in optimistic scenarios. So CAGR is like the cumulative annual growth rate. So it assumes the growth rate if every year the performance went up. So it's like a linear one, and how well high it is, that depends on like the company's performance. So in the market of humanoids, the CAGR is expected to be 50%, potentially reaching hundreds of billions to $1 trillion opportunity by 2035. Drivers: labor shortages, aging population, manufacturing, logistic needs, and AI advances enabling useful workers. So, guys, when you see all these robots in China serving the customers in restaurants, doing the chores out there, and doing the cleaning and that sort of stuff. Why is it coming out of Japan, South Korea, these sorts of countries? They are technically quite advanced, but they have an aging population. They are going to be facing a real problem of labor market shortages. And that is what will push this demand of humanoid robots even more. Early adoption focuses on factories, warehouses, with home commercial expansion later. Okay. Here it says, your vision is already happening. Contract manufacturing partnerships. Jabal and Aptronic. Jabal, a massive electronic contract manufacturer, builds Aptronic's Apollo humanoids and uses them in its own factories. Robots building robots. Okay. This provides Aptronic scalability, global supply chain expertise, and real world testing without owning huge fabs. So Jabal has their factory. They produce robot for Aptronic over there. Work for operates what it claims is the world's largest humanoid factory and explicitly offers contract manufacturing services for other companies, including reshoring support. Reshoring support. Reshoring support involves assisting companies in moving manufacturing operations and supply chain from overseas back into their home countries. So, what they are essentially doing is providing expertise for companies that would want to put their own factories back in their countries instead of them going overseas and outsourcing the manufacturing over there. And they so essentially this whole model is like AI has given me a better word for it, contract manufacturing for humanoid robots. What is this company work for? So they are working on logistics, robotics, but their robot seems not that impressive. Might be able to do the work, definitely would be able to do the work. They have some video explainers, but this isn't a real explainer, guys. Come on, guys, you could have made a real one, like a real robot doing stuff instead of having a 3D model. But anyways, many robotic startups prefer fabless or lightly integrated model. They focus on AI software, mechanical design, and integration while outsourcing heavy manufacturing to experts, similar to how Apple designs but Foxconn and others build. The potential is high, and here's why it fits the future of AI robotics well. Scalability and capital efficiency. Research and development companies avoid billions in factory capex. Dedicated manufacturers amortize costs across multiple clients. Okay. Specialization. So this basically gives the design companies time to specialize in their research and development. They innovate faster, and the manufacturing that is left to the fab, to the contract manufacturing companies, factories. Manufacturing fabs excel at yield optimization, supply chain automation, and quality, just like TSMC. Flywheel effect. This put a smile on my face, guys. Robot can help build more robots. That is enough, guys. Robots can build more robots. Complexity. Most leaders figure AI, Tesla, Boston Dynamics are building their own capacity for control and speed. Full foundry model may mature in 5 to 10 years as volume explodes. This synergy is very plausible and likely as the industry matures. So this contract manufacturing for humanoid robots is going to be a thing of the future. There's already some sort of working relationship between some companies where they are growing in synergy.